and members of our community. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Zuhair Sayed, and I'm a part of the organizing team on behalf of the Scarborough Muslim community and your program host today. Welcome to the Scarborough Muslim Community 2021 Family Day virtual event. Now, normally it's a physical event that we have and a walkathon, which symbolizes sort of our support for the hospital and as well as the Family Day spirit in our community. But as everyone knows, due to extenuating circumstances and due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we've had to make the event virtual. So I do really appreciate each and every single one of you for joining us this morning. I also want to thank Honorable Mayor John Tory for joining us today. His office has been really helpful, within our community and throughout the city during this time. So I do want to welcome you. Before we begin, I do want to take a moment to do the land acknowledgement. The land that we are standing on today is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinabeg, the Chippewa, and the Haudenosaunee. I'm doing my best. And the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people. I also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13, signed with the Mississaugas of the Credit, and the William Treaties signed with the multiple Mississaugas and Chippewa bands. Just a few housekeeping items before we get into the program. Today's agenda can be accessed at scarboroughmuslims.com. So it's one word, scarboroughmuslims.com. Also on the website is the live YouTube link. So while the speakers here are on Zoom, we also have everyone following on YouTube Live. So if you'd like to get access to that link, please go to scarboroughmuslims.com. And most importantly, if you do intend to contribute now or in the future, we do have our donation button link on our website as well. And for the third time, scarboroughmuslims.com. I do want to just a couple of quick reminders that, again, speakers who are not on speaker view, please do switch to that. That would be a lot easier and more presentable for the audience. The program will take about an hour and 15 minutes. We will do our best to stay as on tight with the program as we possibly can. I do humbly request all speakers to stick within their time frame that's been assigned to them, and that would really help move us along within the correct time frame. To say the least, 2020 has been quite a challenging year for all of us. I know our community has faced challenges, the hospital has faced challenges. Economically, we've all faced challenges. We've also faced health issues. We faced mental health problems within our community. There's a lot of work to be done. And, in light of that, the Scarborough Muslim community, in partnership with the Scarborough Health Network, finds it very important at this time and in previous years to do the work that we're doing, which is to raise money for our local projects within our hospitals. The infrastructure of the hospital itself is something that we want to contribute towards as a community. And so it's very important that we as a community band together, especially in this difficult time, to address the needs of the hospital. I do want to thank the Scarborough Health Network for all their support over the years, for inviting the Muslim community and our leadership to join. And we're just truly grateful and happy to the entire team there for allowing us to have the opportunity to step up to the plate. 3 years ago, we set a target of $250,000. We said that we were going to raise $250,000 on behalf of the Scarborough Muslim community for key infrastructure projects within the hospital. And I'm happy to say that in under 3 years, we were able to achieve that feat. Our next target is $100,000 over the course of this year. And we understand with the challenges that are going on, we don't know how long things may last. And so we want to be prudent in our goal setting and our target setting. And so for now, we've outlined two aspects of our targets. One is the 1-year target, but also a 10-year long-term target, which is about $1 million over 10 years. We know it's a lot to ask of our community, as many of us are suffering financially. I know our businesses are challenged. We have a lot of people who are facing dire circumstances, but that also means that a lot of people are stepping up to the plate. Members of our community are taking the leadership role, and they're coming forward and they're contributing. We thank you for that. We encourage anyone who is able to continue to support this cause. I'd like to begin today's program with the recitation of the Holy Quran by our brother Ibrahim Khan. Now, brother Ibrahim Khan is a part of a key organization called the Young Muslims, and he's a key leader within that organization. And so at this moment, I'll allow brother Ibrahim Khan to recite a few verses of the Holy Quran and its associated translation.
Thank you, brother Zuhair. I'll begin the recitation. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر وتؤمنون بالله ولو آمن أهل الكتاب لكان خيرا لهم منهم المؤمنون وأكثرهم الفاسقون. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. You are the best nation produced as an example for mankind. You enjoin what is right and forbid what is wrong and believe in Allah. If only the people of the scripture had believed, it would have been better for them. Among them are believers, but most of them are defiantly disobedient. Jazakallah.
Thank you, brother Ibrahim, for your beautiful recitation, very heart-touching. Brother Ibrahim talked about a verse in the Holy Quran where they talk about sadaqah jariyah. They talk about the importance of charity. Next, I'd like to invite somebody who I would like to call a day one supporter of our program with the Scarborough Muslim community and the Scarborough Health Network. Brother Munib Nasser has gone above and beyond for our community and has supported us in multiple ways from the very beginning. So I can't even stress enough how much he's helped us out and how much he's provided some key leadership for us when we needed it. So I'm happy to have Brother Munib Nasser here with us. He's a well-known Muslim religious leader, writer, and interfaith activist, and he's well-respected in our community for his knowledge and involvement in religious and cultural affairs within the community. Munib is the chair of the Olive Tree Foundation and the co-chair of the National Muslim Christian Liaison Committee. I'd like to invite Brother Munib to say a few words and to motivate us today.
Assalamu alaikum and happy Family Day. I hope and pray that all of you are doing well and keeping safe. Welcome to the annual Family Day events organized by the Scarborough Muslim community to celebrate family and the contributions of our community in support of our hospitals. Today, we are here to honor, give thanks, and offer support to the doctors, nurses, medical personnel, and first responders, and all those who work to provide for our daily needs, as well as the leaders of our governments, businesses, mosques, and organizations who have had to make difficult decisions during this pandemic. We pray that God Almighty Allah grants them and us the courage, compassion, and patience we need to survive this challenging time and to come out of it stronger as a more faithful people and as a more just society. While these are difficult times for all of us, our religion asks that we patiently persevere in times of difficulty and not lose hope in God's mercy. We draw hope from our religious beliefs. We draw hope from our family and friends, but we also draw hope from the support that we offer to each other. In spite of the present difficulties, the Muslim community has stepped forward and stepped up. During the early days of this pandemic, mosques and Muslim organizations delivered meals to staff at our hospitals, and we donated for the hospitals to acquire PPE equipment. And as was mentioned, over the past 3 years, the Scarborough Muslim community has been very generous donating $250,000 for the Scarborough hospitals. In addition, thousands of dollars have been raised every year through these Family Day events. So let us continue to support our hospitals, especially now when it is most needed. And let us continue to support each other and become beacons of light during these uncertain times. And let our compassion spread quicker than the COVID-19 virus.
Do you remember Brother Manib?
At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Hamid Slimi. Dr. Slimi is the president and the CEO of the Faith of Life Network, the chairman of the Canadian Center for Deen Studies, and the imam and resident scholar of the Sayyida Khadija Center in Mississauga. Dr. Slimi leads by example, leading and inspiring our community to support good works, from food banks to hospitals across the city. So it's my pleasure to welcome Dr. Hamid Slimi.
Thank you, Brother Munib. Assalamu alaikum, peace be with you. Respected, beloved Mayor John Tory, Member of Parliament Salma Zahid, and many dignitaries. I'm very honored, and it gives me pleasure to join you this morning. The keynote, the chairman or the MC today mentioned that we will lower our goal or target in consideration of the tough times. Let me tell you, tough times make great people, and it is great people who make easy times. And the cycle goes in life like this. We were tried this year with a difficult, challenge, and we will overcome the challenge. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, يُنْفِقُونَ فِي السَّرَّاءِ وَالضَّرَّاءِ. They spend their money in time, easy times and difficult times. My brothers and sisters, undoubtedly, in support of the frontline workers, we know today more than ever, not that we've never known, but more today, that hospitals are as sacred as the mosques or even more. You can pray in our religion. Anywhere you go, you could pray. You could pray in your home, you can pray in the street, you can pray in the nature, anywhere. But hospitals are places where lives are being saved. I, for one, I am a testament. I have seen, I'm an eyewitness of lives being saved, elderly and young people. And I'm also witness of the tireless efforts of our doctors and nurses and all the workers in the hospitals. And best thing we could do is to support them. Now, we do have a very strong point in our religion telling us that spending for the sake of Allah, which encompasses all acts where life is saved, where difference is made, where cure is given, where healing is happening. So our religion strongly admonishes us and strongly instructs us to do our best. And we will do our best. We've gathered today, and you should be commended. I've joined you in the past to do fundraising for this association. I have not to brag about it, but somehow to provoke you, to somehow make you compete. We've just a few months ago pledged $5 million to Trillium Health Hospitals in Mississauga. And we've already, alhamdulillah, pledged almost $500,000 we've given. And believe me, during the coronavirus, during the difficult times. Why? Because we believe if we can make a difference in difficult times, there is no difference in easy times. This is why I'm strongly motivating you. I believe if our beloved Prophet Muhammad was living amongst us, he would be right now focusing on helping, the medical field, the hospitals, the nurses. It's too much. Now, some may throw that pessimistic view in our lives, but we will go back. These difficult times will make us tougher. Coronavirus really showed the best of ourselves. Showed the best for ourselves. As Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, show Allah the best of yourselves when you are tried. It's an opportunity rather than a calamity to show Allah the best. And then we have the Bible, the Quran, and all the holy books clearly say, give and it'll be given. Give and it'll be given. That's what the Bible says. The Quran says, وَمَا أَنفَقْتُم مِّن خَيْرٍ فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ يُخْلِفُهُ. Whatever you spend, you will surely be given. So we don't have that fear. And I believe this is the teaching of the Prophet ﷺ. Today, we will give and we will be given in spite of the economical uncertainties, in spite of all the challenges, we will give because it is in us to give. And again, in tough times, we will show the best of ourselves. So thank you for making the target $100,000. It's a humble target, but it's in consideration. Maybe the organizers are shy. I think we should go above and beyond. Scarborough Muslim community is large, huge in Toronto, in Scarborough, and I think we should do something, all of us. And I'm giving my first $1,000, just to, this morning to start, because I want the reward, as in our tradition, the first who gives, he gets the rewards. So I'm giving my first $1,000, not as a speaker, but as a community member towards your program. And I believe all of us, if each and every one of us gives something and be the good messenger. I was in this program where Mayor John Tory, in spite of his very busy time, was there. And MP Salma and many dignitaries, were there. It shows the importance. If we don't help the hospitals now, right now the need, as Imam, all the Imams said that, but Imam Ibn al-Qayyim and others said, the best, when he was asked, what is the best charity? He said, the best charity is the one who is the most needed and the time it was needed. And believe me, the support for hospitals is very important. And this is the reality. Our hospitals are not, they're really, I was shocked myself to see that we don't have enough beds in Ontario compared to other countries. Canada, a lot of defects have shown, vaccination, shortage of doctors and nurses. It's time to invest more and change some policies. We see John Tory, our mayor, always speaking about these issues. We have to invest more. If we don't invest in health, and our charity should be directed more now into hospitals. We have enough places. Look, the places of worship and the buildings we have. I'm praying by myself, me and the Bilal, the two of us, the three of us. We're online, our sermons. Because people can still pray at home, but hospitals are needed, rooms are needed, space is needed, beds are needed. And, it is the tradition in Canada that, yes, the government they spend on capital expense. A lot of Muslims don't know that hospitals also depend on charity. They say, no, the government is spending on it a lot. We need to do education, and our community is very generous. I believe we can do and make a difference. I'm a strong believer we will achieve that $100,000, if not today, in the next few days. Thank you for inviting me, and I am here anytime you need a push or support, and God bless you all. Thank you for organizing this, and inshallah, we should do more. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Sheikh Hamid Slimi, for those words, and actually, thank you very much for the first $1,000. I think it'll kick us off in the right direction, and hopefully is a motivating factor for a lot of people. I just want to touch on a couple of points that Dr. Hamid Slimi made that I think is really, really important for us to remember. First of all, the $5 million target to Trillium Health, that's amazing, and I think it really shows how capable we really are, as you said. And that, as a Muslim community, we do really believe that whatever we do spend will be given back to us. And that's why there's no fear in us that we will lose out or that we won't have as much as we had before. So I think these are very good points. And again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for donating the first $1,000. I think it's really going to set us off where we need to. So appreciate your time, Dr. Hamid Slimi. Next in line, we'll be hearing from our youth speakers. My brothers and sisters, our youth speakers are very, very important because they are the future of our community. And so I think it's time that we not only try to motivate and inspire and encourage, but also involve them in these efforts. Both of our youth speakers are very involved in their communities. They will go one after another. So our first speaker will be Brother Irfan Ubaidul Jabbar, and then we'll move on to Sister Aisha Khan. Brother Irfan is a grade 8 student and very involved in both his school and community. Sister Aisha is a grade 12 student at RH King Academy, and she's also a very active member in school clubs and outside school clubs. She's the president of her school's debate club and emergency response council, as well as a part-time staff with the city of Toronto. So she's quite involved with the city as well. So I'll ask Brother Irfan to join us, say a few words, and then we'll let Sister Aisha go.
Dear brothers, elders, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. I wish you all a happy Family Day. I'm grateful to the Government of Ontario for recognizing the importance of the family and designating today as the Family Day holiday. Family is an ultimate place for peace, comfort, socialization, and growth, especially for children. Their optimum growth depends on the quality of nurture that they receive. Families are the fundamental building blocks of a strong community. A community is a family in a bigger sense. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, chapter 4, verse 36, worship Allah and join none with him, and do good to parents and to relatives, orphans, the needy, the neighbor, next door or farther, and the traveler. Health of a community hinges very closely with the quality of its healthcare. We all know that last year, the pandemic has been hardest on the Scarborough hospitals, stretching their resources. Their staff have worked round the clock to keep our communities safe and healthy while putting themselves at risk. I commend the Scarborough Muslim community for taking the right step to acknowledge and support the services of our Scarborough Health Network hospitals on this Family Day. Thank you for supporting the Scarborough hospitals, and I wish you all a happy Family Day.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Hi, I know we all have been spending a lot of time in front of our screens, so it's nice to see everyone. It's a nice change from the Zoom classes. This year, things have been anything but normal with the pandemic and the constant changes to our lifestyles. It comes as no surprise that adjusting to this new norm has been very challenging. Saying that, there have been some silver linings to our new circumstances. The Family Day event, I think, is extra special this year, as many of us, myself included, have found a newfound appreciation for our families and the people who surround us. With the lockdown restrictions, turning to our families has definitely been an asset for many of us when it comes to either finding ways to pass time, stay active, or just taking care of ourselves mentally. An hadith I wanted to mention is narrated by Al-Bukhari, which states, "A man spending on his family is a deed of charity." And I think this is such a simple yet meaningful hadith that can be looked at in so many ways. Now, there are the materialistic aspects that we could look at, things like gifts, things that money buy, but there are other priceless spendings that can also be included, giving someone your time, a listening ear, your company, advice, or something as simple as a smile, are all things that don't require much. It can make a huge difference in someone else's life while benefiting yours as well. The hadith I wanted to end with is one that I'm sure you've all heard many times before, and that for a good reason too. Love for your brother what you love for yourself. Living by this will bring a sense of empathy and compassion into your heart that will only benefit the relationships in your life and the ones you have with your family. Throughout our life, we seek support, love, compassion, and companionship. And as a brother, a mother, a son, or a daughter, you're given the gift of a family who will time and time be that pillar of support and love. With that being said, I just wanted to say thanks for having me, and enjoy the rest of the event, guys.
Thank you very much, Sister Aisha and Brother Irfan. Next, I'd like to introduce a special guest from the hospital, but I do want to mention that Mr. Ryan Bailey, who is our new community, or relatively new community vice president of community development at the Scarborough Health Network, has taken over for previously, who many of us know as Guy Bunnell. He used to be the VP Community Development, and I just wanted to say that Guy Bunnell has really helped us out over the years, incredible support, and helped us jumpstart this on behalf of the Scarborough Health Network. So we're very thankful for his years of support, and we wish him the best on the golf course. So Ryan Bailey, just a few words about Ryan Bailey. So he joined the Scarborough Health Network Foundation back in November 2020, so quite recently. But he brings a wealth of experience, and I've had the opportunity to meet him myself, and so has our team. And he's incredible, big-hearted individual. Previously, Ryan was the executive director of Hockey Helps the Homeless, where he worked with the board of directors and steering committees across Canada to implement 14 charities. These are hockey tournaments. He's also held prior roles with event fundraising roles with the Canadian Cancer Society, the Sick Kids Foundation, and at Princess Margaret Cancer Foundation. So we're very excited to have an ally like Ryan Bailey on board on behalf of the Scarborough Health Network. And I'd like to ask him to say a few words to all of us today.
Thank you very much. Zuhair, can you hear me okay?
Absolutely, yeah.
Wonderful. Okay. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum and greetings. Happy Family Day, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me and for that wonderful introduction. I want to thank many of our leaders on the call. I know the Honorable John Tory has joined us. Thank you, Mayor Tory. Thank you to our many dignitaries. Thank you to brothers Zuhair, Munib, and Assad, who I've had the chance to meet in my very short time now, just 2+ months in my role. And you mentioned Guy Bunnell as well. Guy has been a wonderful steward of the portfolio and has handed over it to me and to Krishni and Tasnuba, who's on the call as well today. And we are thrilled to be working with you and working with the community. Thank you so much to the community members who have joined us today as well. I know this is a stat holiday, and as much as we are used to spending lots of time at home, you could be elsewhere and you have chosen to join us. So thank you. As mentioned, my name is Ryan Bailey. I joined Scarborough Health Network Foundation as Vice President Community Development back November 30th of 2020. So as I said, just over a couple of months, and it has been a wonderful transition into my new role. I have had a chance to meet members of the Muslim community, of many other communities that we support and work with in Scarborough, and I look forward to meeting many of you when we can eventually meet in person. We have been thrilled for the last 10+ years to partner with the Muslim community, now over a decade, through a number of different initiatives. The Family Day Walkathon, of course, who unfortunately this year, due to COVID, we of course cannot meet in person, but it says a lot about the community. It says a lot about Scarborough Health Network, and it says a lot about all of you that despite our inability to meet in person, you have decided to organize a wonderful event today and not only decide to continue to raise funds, but actually choose a goal that far exceeds what has been raised in the past in terms of an annual commitment. And we'll get into a little bit about what that looks like as well. We cannot thank you enough. You have continued to be committed to support the long-term health of our 3 hospitals at Birchmount General and Centenary. And through your support, keep Scarborough and our Scarbarians healthy in the process. It has been a very challenging year. We're now coming up to about a year since the pandemic has officially hit, early mid-March. And a lot of what you're seeing in terms of Toronto COVID-19 numbers, many of them are coming from Scarborough. And so our frontline staff, our doctors, our physicians, our nurses have spent countless hours not only continuing to keep our community safe, but working on mass vaccination clinics, working with the city of Toronto, working on what the next steps and stages are to continue to keep our community healthy. And we can only do that with the community's support. 3 years ago, in 2018, as mentioned, the Muslim community committed to a gift of $250,000 to support our hospitals. That commitment was made over 5 years. Initially, at the time, it was decided that that would take place and be raised over 5 years. The organizing committee worked very hard to engage with various mosques and leaders in the community to secure support. Of course, the Family Day Walkathon was a big part of how funds were raised, but there were other initiatives as well, grassroots initiatives and fundraising dinners. And these things take a lot of time. It is one thing for someone to stroke a check for $250,000. It is a completely different thing to put the energy and effort and sweat and tears into running an event, leveraging the community relationships that you have, organizing the event, working very closely with our staff at the foundation to make it a success. We thank you for everything that you've done. Now, since there have been a number of other initiatives that you have stepped up to support the hospital through PPE donations and food and meals, and to support our frontline staff through COVID. We cannot thank you enough. You have led by example, and we are better for it in our hospital and our staff. Thank you. We are so lucky to receive the outpour of support from the Muslim community, and we are looking forward to this next step in our very strong relationship. Throughout all this, throughout COVID, it didn't slow you down. That $250,000 commitment was completed in just 3 years. Thank you. A huge thank you to your committee for working tirelessly to reach this goal and in record timing. I'm very excited to announce that thanks to Tasnuba and Guy before me, to commemorate this achievement, we'll be placing a plaque in recognition of the gift from the Scarborough Muslim community in our diagnostic imaging waiting room at Centenary Hospital. So forever, there will be a plaque that recognizes this milestone of $250,000 achieved. And though I hope you don't need to use our hospitals all that often, if you ever do find yourself in the diagnostic imaging waiting room at Centenary, there will be wonderful recognition in support and recognition of your wonderful achievement. Though we can't meet in person, I would like to invite all of you, once we can finally get together, to come, and we will host an event in support of this wonderful milestone, and you can see firsthand this beautiful plaque in recognition. So we look forward to doing that. Now, as you turn your sights towards the future, and we turn our sights towards a healthier Scarborough post-COVID, I am thrilled at the $100,000 commitment being made here today, of which we are, it looks like 1% of our way to achieving. I can't imagine a better way to kick off Family Day, to kick off the next step in our relationship. These funds will go a long way into supporting Scarborough's most needed. Our foundation is committed to closing the gap between our exceptional care and our aging hospitals, and our hospitals are aging. They are in need of funding, they are in need of community support, and we are only as strong as the community that supports us. To hear that there's a possibility of a $1 million commitment over the next 10 years is thrilling, but we look forward to working with you in 2021 to achieve the first step in this milestone. I believe we are only as healthy as our community, and we are healthier today thanks to your support. Once again, I'd like to thank the Honorable Mayor John Tory for joining us today, our leadership in the Muslim community, the many community members who have joined us today. And now I'm going to turn it over to a short video to give you a sense of how your funds are being invested at Scarborough Health Network from Dr. Norm Chu. Thank you.
A hospital emergency department sees both the bad and good times. It sees the anxiety and pain that patients go through in a medical emergency. It sees panic and stress. It sees people receiving care and comfort in their time of greatest need. The Birchmount Emergency Department was built in 1985 for 20,000 annual visits, and now it sees more than 50,000 patients per year. At peak times, we're seeing a new patient every 3 minutes. Physical space is an issue. Hallways are jammed with equipment. Rooms are so small that sometimes life-saving equipment can't fit inside. And triage bays are less than 100 square feet in total. For patients, a new emergency means appropriate spaces for seniors, women, and children. And the improved flow means no waiting rooms. So the no-wait emergency department really borrows ideas from outside the hospital. If you think about it, in Formula One racing, race car goes into the pit stop. They don't do things in order. They do things all together, all at once. They come together to get them the care that they need and to get them out quickly. We hope to achieve that. A new emergency at Birchmount Hospital would mean endless possibilities for our patients and will create the bright, healthy future that Scarborough deserves. Signed, Dr. Norm Chu, Scarborough Health Network.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ryan Bailey. I really appreciate your words of support. And I think it's fantastic news about the plaque that will be in the diagnostics imaging waiting room. And we will share more information with the community about the event that's being planned to celebrate this. We'd love it if as many people as possible, especially those who contributed, could help in celebrating this. I'd like to introduce our next speaker. Our next speaker is Brother Farid Amin. And again, he's been another one of our day one supporters. Mr. Farid Amin has spent over 26 years in public service at the provincial and municipal levels. He served as a deputy minister in a number of ministries in the Ontario Public Service and as a deputy senior manager with the City of Toronto and as the chief administrative officer with the town of Collingwood. He's very active in our community, very involved member from the beginning, and has been supporting us in all of our meetings, initiatives, goal setting, targets, and reaching out to the community from the very beginning. So very, very happy to have the support of someone like Brother Farid Amin. Currently, he's also, as many of you know, the Islamic Institute of Toronto. He's the chair of the board of directors there. And he will also not only say a few words, but will also introduce our chief guest today here, the Honorable Mayor John Tory. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Mr. Farid Amin.
Thank you very much, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Happy Family Day. I know our mayor is very pressed for time, so I'm going to cut my introduction short. I don't think the mayor needs any introduction to this community. I just want to publicly thank the mayor and his team at City Hall for all that you do, Mr. Mayor, day in and day out. We certainly appreciate it. I had an entire speech plan, but given the time constraints, I will forego and defer to you. So I'd like to welcome and thank John Tory for joining us. He has been a friend of this community, and I'm sure that his words will inspire us to keep going. So Mayor Tory.
Well, assalamu alaikum, and thank you, Brother Farid, a good friend for a long time, as I've tried to be a good friend to this community. And I'm just going off to do a radio interview where I'll mention the good works being done on Family Day today by the Scarborough Muslim community, and then I'll come back. And I want to make sure that we hear Brother Farid's speech about Scarborough Health Network and about the commitment to this cause after I have a chance to speak, but I thank him for accommodating the fact I have to go off and do this interview at 11:50. It'll also keep my remarks short. May I acknowledge as well Brother Salim, Imam Salimi, who is the first, he was presiding over the first mosque I ever visited in my life, way back when, many years ago. And also my colleagues in public life, Jennifer McKelvey, our wonderful city councillor from Scarborough, as well as Salma Zaid and Sean Chen and Dolly Begum. I will just tell you that in the case of the Salma and Sean, they are part of a government that is doing a great deal to help build up Scarborough, including huge investments in transit and other things, housing, and I'm very, very grateful for that. You know, what a wonderful, by the way, I should say, first off the top, I will match Imam Salimi's donation that he made at the beginning of this broadcast today. And so I'll make sure that I do that to help you along the way to doing something that is such a wonderful thing to do on Family Day. Because I think the concept of family that is celebrated today is much broader than just one's immediate family. And it's the family of people who live, for example, in Scarborough or who live in the city of Toronto. And there's no question but that the Scarborough Health Network and all of the healthcare facilities in Scarborough have been underinvested for many years. It's one of the things that motivated me to become an honorary chair and help the Scarborough Health Network with this campaign to raise money, because I recognize the fact that while I can't raise money personally, I can send a signal that says these are hospitals that we've got to get behind because they're outdated. They've been allowed to become outdated, and we have to fix that. And it's not only up to the community to fix that, it's up to the government to fix that as well. And that is something that I'll be trying to advocate for as well. I am not one who is surprised at the generosity and commitment community represented by the Muslim community. I know from countless numbers of visits to Brother Farid Amin's mosque, for example, during Ramadan time, and other mosques that I visited in Ramadan, that every day there's a project to raise money for somebody else. And I think this is entirely consistent with the Quran that says that believers are protectors of one another. And it says as well, be good to parents and kindred and to orphans and to the needy and speak kindly to mankind. And there are countless references to charity in the Quran. Not that I'm the expert on what's in there, but I've read enough to know that it's a fundamental tenet of the Islamic faith. And so I thank you for that. I thank you for taking into account on this Family Day, this broader concept of family that has you raising money, albeit virtually instead of at the walk, for the family of Scarborough residents who rely so much, not just in pandemic time, but other times, on these wonderful hospitals that are, you know, yes, they're outdated and they need to be fixed up, but what they do contain is some of the best people, the best doctors, the best nurses, the best other frontline workers that care compassionately for people from every corner of the earth who have blessedly come to settle in Scarborough. So I thank you for that. I hope that you will work hard to achieve this goal, because it's a wonderful, generous goal, and I will help you to achieve it in any way that I can, coming to any events or celebrating in any other way your support for these wonderful hospitals. And I will just finish on this note. Please have hope. This event should give you hope. The work of the Scarborough Health Network should give you hope. The vaccines should give you hope. This is a great city. It's a resilient city full of people who are strong and full of people who care for each other. And they've proven that over and over again during the pandemic. And I think that that gives me every reason to believe, plus all the fundamentals, the other fundamentals, the smart people, the great educational institutions, the great hospitals, the values that we share about looking after for each other, some of those rooted, of course, right in Islam as well. Have hope that brighter days do lie ahead, because they do. We just have to stay the course for the moment and keep each other safe and keep doing this wonderful work that you're doing in your own families, in the Scarborough family, and in the broader family that represents the city of Toronto. So I thank you very, very much for your contribution today, and I will be there with you shoulder to shoulder to make sure we get this money raised so that we can make sure these hospitals do the excellent job that they already do, but even better. In better facilities. So thank you very much, and I will be back right after I do this short radio interview to hear the rest of the proceedings.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We really appreciate you joining us. We'll let you go to your event, and but I just want to say a few things about Mr. Mayor, our mayor's speech. First of all, thank you for the $1,000 donation. That's huge. Again, another level of support besides Imam Hamid Slimi. And I think that really motivates us to see somebody at your leadership level making that kind of contribution. I think the mayor made a couple of very important points. One is about the underinvestment in Scarborough. And I think for the leadership at City Hall to recognize that, I think is crucial. And it's I'm very happy to hear that. Also, the point about family not being limited to just immediate family, but for the broader, community family. So I thought a lot of great points from our mayor. And again, we want to thank the mayor's office as well for all their support. I actually want to invite back Mr. Farid Amin. Brother Farid Amin, you've been a big supporter of our community. I know you had some words that you wanted to share, but I do want you to come back on and share those words with us, because I do feel that it's quite valuable for us.
Yeah, thank you, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim again. I'm going to be very brief because I know we're pressed for time. I just want to I want to acknowledge a number of people, and Brother Asad Chowdhury in particular. And I think he's one of the brothers who've been acting behind the scene. He has a team with him, and he has been relentless in the pursuit of fundraising for the hospital. I also want to thank our MPP Dolly Begum. I want to thank our MPPs. Besides Dolly, I also want to thank our MP. We have both Salma Zahid as well as SHN here with us, and both of them have been extremely supportive of the cause of the Muslim community, and also more precisely, the cause of the work we're doing with Scarborough Health Network. And we have a number of leaders within our community as well. Dr. Hamid Slimi has joined us. I also want to acknowledge the support we received from Sheikh Yusuf Badat, who has been also a fixture in many of our fundraising events. So the purpose of me coming on was just to acknowledge the support we're receiving for MPs or MPP. Also, Councillor McKelvey is here, and I want to thank her for her support as well. And together, we can perform miracles. I always say to our community that none of us is as strong as all of us. And inshallah, God willing, we will get through this, and we will come out at the other end much stronger, much more resilient, because we know that we have a strong foundation upon which to build. And I want to thank all of our Islamic Center leadership who have assisted us in realizing this goal. And again, thank our government and our frontline workers for all that they're doing to keep us safe. And the collaboration that is happening across the levels of government is unprecedented. And we are really extremely privileged to be living in a society, in a country that has this level of collaboration to keep us safe and also to help us get through this. So thanks to all of the dignitaries that have joined us, and thanks to the leadership of this event who are working behind the scenes to make Scarborough a much better place to live, work, play, and recreate. So thank you very much. And I also want to thank Ryan and Tasnuva for their support from within the Scarborough Hospital Network. And one final note, we're willing at the Islamic Institute of Toronto to be a place of choice for administering the vaccine. We have helped being a pop-up center for COVID-19 tests, and we are willing and able, if you need us to help with vaccine dissemination, we're more than happy to lend you that support as well. Thank you very much, and happy Family Day again.
Thank you very much, Brother Fareed. Again, thanks for all your support. You've been big for us. And also, I think you mentioned a very important point about Brother Asad. I don't think he gets enough mention. He doesn't like it when I mention his name, but I think we should do that today. Brother Asad has inspired and motivated myself to be a part of this, but so has he inspired all the other brothers in the community to be a part of this. Truly inspirational person, and the drive, the energy in this man at his age, it's incredible. It really is. So the next set of speakers are our respected dignitaries. Again, I respectfully ask everyone to stay within their time frame moving forward. Just we're a little bit behind, and we want to just make sure everyone gets their few words in. The first person I'd like to invite is MP Salma Zahid. MP Salma Zahid was elected in 2015 as a member of Parliament, as many of us know, in Scarborough Centre. She was actually re-elected in 2019, so this is her second term. Most notably, I do want to point out that she recently fought a battle with a form of stage 4 cancer and successfully defeated it. And she continues to represent her constituency at the highest level of government. So we're thankful for Salma Zahid joining us today, and I'd like to invite her to come on to say a few words.
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you, Zuhair, for this introduction. Thank you to everyone from the Scarborough Muslim community for organizing this event virtually. Although I would have loved to meet in person with all of you, it seems that it has been years that we met in person, but I think in the interest of everyone and to make sure that everyone is safe, this is the best way to do meet and greets. Thank you to Mr. Ryan Bailey from Scarborough Health Network for being part of this event, and thank you On behalf of federal government and everyone in this community, I really want to thank you from the bottom of heart to all the staff and all the doctors, all the frontline workers at Scarborough Health Network at all the 3 sites for being there for the community day in and day out. Thank you to Mayor John Tory, who joined us in spite of his busy schedule. Thank you to my other colleagues from all levels of government, MPP Dolly Begum, MP Sean Chen, Councillor Jennifer McAlvey, Trustee Zakir Patel, and also a big thank you to Imam Hamid Salimi for being part of this and starting this event, fundraising event. The need to, 3 years ago, when we came together back in 2018, I think it was January 2018, when we gathered at Scarborough Hospital to commit to Scarborough Hospital that the Muslim community in Scarborough will raise $250,000. I think it was a great moment of pride for me to see that the Muslim community came together, all the mosques came together on one platform and committed that. I think it is really very important that we do our best to make sure that we can raise funds for the hospitals, which is very much needed in our community. The need for hospitals has always been there, but we have seen in the last 1 year, I think it is even much more. When everything closed down, our economy closed down, it was our doctors, nurses, hospital staff at the front line, making sure that they are there for the community. So I think it is really very important that we continue our commitment. And it is great to know I had a meeting 2 days ago with Brother Asad Chaudhary and Zuhair and Brother Khalid. And it was heartwarming to know that the Muslim community is committing $1 million over the next 10 years for the Scarborough Health Network. It is much needed in this pandemic, but always. Back in January 2018, when we came together and committed that money, I didn't know that after 3 weeks, I will be there at Scarborough Health Network to fight for my life. So I think I owe my life to the healthcare system, to all the doctors and all the frontline workers in Canada. I'm alive because there was healthcare for me. And I think many of us, they have seen in this pandemic, it was really very hard on the Scarborough community, and the Scarborough Health Network had to deal with big number of COVID-19 cases, and especially during the second wave, got to know like many friends, family members who were hit by that and were in the hospital. So the need to make sure that we have the infrastructure which is needed at the hospitals, I think it is really very important that we continue our commitment and make sure that, I know the economy is not in that situation that everyone is doing very well, but things will start getting better. We see light at the end of the tunnel with the vaccines coming in, and inshallah, by the end of September, all those Canadians who want to have a vaccine will be vaccinated. We will see the ramp up of the vaccines coming into this country in the next few weeks. And it is good to know that we will have 2 big sites here in Scarborough to get the vaccines into the arms of the community members. So big thank you to everyone for coming together in this time of the need. A big thank you to the Scarborough Muslim community in the last 1 year for being there for the frontline workers, ranging from like bringing food for the frontline workers to donation of masks, PPEs. You have been there and you have showed that together we can do anything. So on behalf of myself, I would also commit $1,000 personally for this event and making sure that we continue our drive of raising funds for the Scarborough Health Network. Happy Family Day. Hope we will have some opportunity to talk to our families about the need for why we are doing this for the Scarborough Health Network. Let's talk to our kids, to our youth, to make sure that we can continue this drive. Thank you and have a great family day with your families and your loved ones. Stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Salma Zahid and our respected MP. Thank you for those words. Next, we have a video from MP Sean Chen. Now, he's not available to attend at the moment, so let's go ahead and play the clip from our MP. He actually used to be a former school board trustee, first elected in 2006, and then became a MP in 2015, was re-elected in 2019. So let's hear from Sean Chen.
Hello, this is Sean Chen, Member of Parliament for Scarborough North, and I'm so delighted to wish all of you a very happy Family Day. Here at this virtual event organized in partnership with the Scarborough Muslim community and the Scarborough Health Network, we are gathered to acknowledge the incredible work of our Muslim community in Scarborough to support our local hospital. I know that today you are discussing the $250,000 pledge to support the incredible work of our frontline medical staff, nurses, doctors, and hospital workers who have been working around the clock to save lives during this COVID-19 pandemic. Allow me this opportunity to thank Scarborough's Muslim community for today's incredible announcement and contributions, but as well for your work over this past year, which has been such a difficult time for Scarborough families. Thank you for the work that you have done to support our community, and in particular, to support our seniors and our most vulnerable. You have truly made a difference, and I commend you for your incredible contributions. Together, I know that we will continue to stay safe, and together we will beat this pandemic. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a most wonderful Family Day.
Thank you very much, Sean. We appreciate it. So our next speaker is actually an MPP. Her name is Dolly Begum. She was elected to the Legislative Assembly of Ontario back in 2018 during the provincial election, and now represents the riding of Scarborough Southwest. So I'd like to invite Dolly Begum to say a few words.
Thank you, Brother Zuhair. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Happy Family Day. To the respected members of the Scarborough Muslim Foundation, the imams, all the dignitaries. My sister MP Salma Zahid just spoke beautifully. We have Councillor McKelvey here. We just heard from Mayor John Tory, as well as, of course, the dedicated team of Scarborough Health Network. I know Tasnuva's been doing a fantastic job, and I love seeing all of you in person all the time. I just want to say thank you as a member of Provincial Parliament for Scarborough Southwest and a Muslim daughter in the community who grew up in Scarborough and seeing the needs of our community. I just want to take a moment to thank the entire team for your leadership, especially the Muslim Foundation, I think, for your tireless work. Thank you, Brother Farid Amin, for the kind words. I was also listening to the Imam Salimi. You know, it's always inspiring to hear your words and to remind us of our duty as Muslims, of the Sadqa Zariyah and what we need to do. And today I want to commit in my capacity as well. I think I'm so proud to tell you that we have joined the fight in terms of making sure that our community members and with Scarborough's Health Network to ask for an equitable amount of support that we get from the government. As an opposition member, this has been a fight, a tireless fight, because we know for how many years Scarborough has been left behind. Scarborough hospitals have been left behind in terms of funding. Especially this past year, we know that we need to do much more to support. The emergency example, just hearing the letter from the doctor was a great example of finding out what's happening in our hospitals. During the past months and months, we have seen community leadership like the Muslim Foundation come forward and support. The fact that we needed PPE for our nurses shows that we have to do much more. So today I want to tell you that we are fighting hard to make sure that that Scarborough gets equitable amount of vaccines. Just like other areas, Scarborough has around 700,000 100,000 people. That means our doctors and nurses are asking for more, and they're doing a wonderful job to be able to vaccinate about 1,000 people per day. So I thank them for their hard work. I also want to say that I would like to commit to two things. One is to donate $1,000 to the cause, and I congratulate you on your new goal. And the second thing is to ask that I work with you in terms of doing a community event so that we can help you fundraise as well. And I would love to be a part of that. And once again, thank you so much. And I will always do everything I can to help you in my capacity to support the work of the Muslim Foundation and Scarborough Health Network. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum, and have a wonderful family day.
Thank you, Dolly Begum, for joining us, and thank you for such a generous contribution. I just see it rolling in one after another now. That's our fourth contribution of the day from our leadership. So thank you very much to yourself and to your team, and for committing to running an event. We'd be happy to collaborate with you on that. Our next speaker is our counselor, Jennifer McKelvey. So basically, Jennifer McKelvey is a current city councilor in the Amalgamated Ward 25, which is Scarborough Rouge Park. She was first elected to Toronto City Council in the 2018 municipal election, and is currently the city councilor for the riding in which I happen to live in, Scarborough. So it holds dear to my heart, and I'm very grateful to have her join us today. So without further ado, I'd like to invite Jennifer to say a few words.
Assalamu alaikum. Congratulations to the Scarborough Muslim community for finding a way to come together despite the current challenges in support of the Scarborough Hospital Network. It's very nice to see City Boss Mayor John Tory here. He is a huge supporter of the Muslim community, and we see that time and time again. He's always first to speak out against Islamophobia, but also supports the Muslim fellowships at City Hall, like myself. And clearly today, he's shown just again his strong commitment to the Scarborough Health Network. Likewise, it's great to see MP Selma Zaid. I miss seeing her in the community, as well as MPP Dolly Begum. And I know that Trustee Zakir Patel will be on shortly. I want to start by thanking Zuhair. I miss seeing you in the community. Thank you so much for the invitation to be here today. And I also want to thank the organizing committee, Assad, Khalid, Munib, Abujar, and all of the volunteers for making today's event happen. I really enjoy joining you at this event. I'm sad that we're not out walking. You all know that my favorite events combine fundraising and exercise. In light of that, despite not being with you today, I will make sure to reflect on the Scarborough Health Network and the Scarborough Muslim community on my walk, and will also make a donation later today. I'm so impressed by your ability to come together for a good cause, and that you've already reached your goal of 250,000 before ahead of target. And now you set a new ambitious target of 100,000 just this year. You show time and time again the power of community coming together. And in Scarborough Rouge Park, we're so fortunate to have 5 mosques and a vibrant Muslim community that contributes so much to the fabric of our neighborhoods. And I want to take a minute to thank Brother Farid and IIT, even though I count you as being in my ward, even though you're just across the street. Thank you for hosting that COVID-19 testing center and for offering to make your space available later for immunizations should that be needed. So thank you so much for everything you do, not just for the Scarborough Health Network, but how you've stepped it up even more during the current crisis. It is Family Day, so I do want to make sure to show my personal connection to the Scarborough Health Network. In addition to having both of my children at Scarborough Hospital, my mother was a nurse there. She did work there during SARS, and right now my sister is working in the emergency in an administrative capacity. And so she's very much seeing what's happening with COVID-19 on a daily basis in Scarborough. So in light of that, I will think of them today. I will think of you today. I will think of the Scarborough Health Network today. Thank you so much for organizing this important event and finding a way for us to all be together. Thank you.
Thanks, Jennifer. I really appreciate you taking the time today to join us. I know you have a lot going on in the community, and do appreciate your words of support, and especially the work that you're doing in your writing, which is my current writing as well. So thank you for everything. Next in line is Zakir Patel, who is a very close ally to us as well. Actually, I wanted to point out that Zakir Patel, who is a Toronto District School Board trustee for Ward 19 with the Scarborough Guildwood. He won this election back in the 2018 municipal election. And actually, he's helped raise $18,000 for the COVID-19 fund for the Scarborough Health Network. So it's a testament that each and every one of us, if we put our best foot forward, that we can definitely help raise funds for the hospital and help contribute. So without further ado, let's bring Zakir Patel on to address our team.
Thank you, Zuhair. Thank you for the great introduction. Let me start this by saying a big hello to our frontline workers, distinguished guests, SHN board members. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. It's my honor to be here today on a family day. And on this day, I would like to seize the opportunity to congratulate Muslim community on launching this outstanding fundraising initiative 3 years back. And we raised $250,000 within 3 years of our boundary. And today we are here to raise another 100,000. And I would like to have one more zero to this 100,000 if Zuhair is listening to me on this, because it's time to grow more, right? Not less. And I think the response we are getting from the community, I think we can raise that funds. And if this 100,000 becomes 250,000, I mean, I'm here to help you in any way I can. And let's set this bar higher and higher. I do understand this is an economic crisis, but as Imam Salimi said, Muslims always rise when there's a need in community. If we try giving to healthcare, it gives you an eternal peace. And if we have this in our mind, trust me, we can reach any target we want. This is my direct appeal to my brothers and sisters of Muslim community or even non-Muslims. We think our healthcare protection is all good, all nice, all fine, but trust me, the situation is quite different. This pandemic has shown us a great amount of how our healthcare system works, how closely we have seen the need of our healthcare system. Every dollar counts. And this is the reason, I mean, I'm telling you and our Scarborough Health Muslim Community Liaison Committee to raise the bar higher. I think we are more than 600,000 people in Scarborough. And I think 25% is Muslim, if I'm not wrong. And I think if we have $1 a day, $1 million can be done within a week. But all this requires a great efforts, a great community coming together. And we have seen that healthcare and education is the two system and sector which can bring any communities together, regardless of their race, religion, creed, color, you name it. Today, I would like to donate $1,000 for this noble cause, and my commitment for next 4 years, altogether 5 years. I'll give you $1,000 from my behalf, but I'll also help Muslim community to raise funds. Whenever you need me, any day, any time, I'll be available. Regardless of who am I, I'll be there as a community worker. And inshallah, I will join this cause to raise that $1 million target we have, inshallah. Our mutual efforts, our support to this great cause has always helped SHN to serve us better in Scarborough. We all know that if we come together, that there is a cherishing moment to celebrate human life when we donate $1, or $2, or $5, or $100. So in short, I know we don't have time. We are running out of time. I'd like to thank each and every one of your team, SHN board members, for doing this great work for Scarborough. If we continue these bonds of friendship and goodness through our cooperation and mutual respect, I think we all can achieve this target. Again, I'd like to thank Mayor, all dignitaries for joining us in this noble cause and supporting this initiative. Thank you all. Happy Family Day. Take care.
Thank you, Brother Zakir Patel. We appreciate all your support. I also wanted to just mention a word of thanks to both Zakir Patel for his contribution, but also Jennifer for her contribution as well. So I want to thank the both of you for that. Next in line, we want to hear from our sister Farouk from the Islamic Circle of North America. She's the current president and will touch base on some of the work that the ICNA sisters are doing in our community. So I'll let Sister Farouk say a few words.
Assalamu alaikum to all. Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. My name is Farrokh Akhtar and I'm the president of ICNA Sisters Toronto. First of all, I would like to say thanks to Scarborough Muslims for inviting us for a noble cause. And I want nice to see Mayor Tori, Salma Zahid, MPPs, Imams, and all the community leaders here. Thanks for inviting us with them. First of all, I'll try to introduce my organization to all of you. ICNA Sisters Canada is a non-profit organization. We have our work all over Canada. Our goal to motivate Muslim women and support the efforts for civil liberties and socioeconomic justice, strengthen the bond of humanity by serving all those in need, and to cooperate with other organizations that are working towards similar goals. And we encourage and motivate the women to do individually or collectively work in the community for the betterment of our citizens and to so all of the Canadians will live in harmony and a peaceful life. Some of our projects are, I want to introduce some of our projects what we are doing in the community are, for example, we do the hospital visit, community fridge, food drive, shelter and back to school supply drive, nursing home volunteer, funeral services, blood donation, financial help, free counseling, matchmaking, and much, much more. We are doing this sort of thing in community. And as you know that we are working with the Scarborough Muslim for the last 8 years in in Family Day Walkathon. Our volunteers, we are doing henna, balloon arts, face painting, and lots of fun in family days for the families and children. And this year I miss that in-person walkathon because we all love to be there and help for a noble cause. And as you know, Allah subhanahu said in Quran, "Batawanu alal birri wa taqwa." It's mean and help one another in goodness and piety. So on behalf of ICNA Sisters Toronto, I'm happy to announce the $1,000 for the hospital's network, and inshallah, we will pray you will complete your goal very soon. And you know, as the most of the speakers said, it is a hard time for us, but you know this is a hard time for us, but during this time our community, because I am also a non-profit organization and people give donation for these sort of cause, and I know during this hard time people donate much more than the normal days, and it's a good thing, and I hope you will also succeed in your planning and your whatever your goal is. So thank you once again for inviting us, and happy Family Day to all of you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Sister Farouk. We appreciate all the work that Muslim women are doing in our community. It's very important for us to encourage the women in our community as well to take the leadership role and to get as involved as they can. So it's beautiful to see that. Next, I'd like to invite Imam Shoaib Wardak. Now, Imam Shoaib Wardak is a current Imam of Jami Abu Bakr Siddiqui, which is one of the largest mosques in Scarborough and has been there for several decades. Very important point that him and his team at Abu Bakr have raised about $36,000 during our pledges, our $250,000 pledge. So we thought it was very important to hear from him. So Imam Shoaib Wardak.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And happy Family Day to everybody that's here. I begin, of course, by thanking God, giving every single one of us the opportunity to be able to help, to contribute. I thank the Honorable John Tory and, of course, the two MPs, the MPP, the councillor, and the trustee. And because I only have 4 minutes, and I'm going to try to stay within this time because I believe everybody, you know, it's wonderful when we do stick to our time. But nevertheless, on behalf of the SMA that started in approximately 1981 For those of us who know the IITs and the IFTs in Scarborough, who are just remarkable, great, huge organizations, well, we've got the SMA as well. In case you didn't know, it's the Scarborough Muslim Association, and the heart. It's literally it's in the heart of Scarborough, and we've been around for quite some time now, just about 4 decades, and even during this pandemic, we're doing great things. We've got people attached to the masjid spiritually via means that we basically lectures and programs that we've been conducting online. And even throughout the pandemic, apart from the programs and the classes and everything else that continue to go on during the pandemic, also, we were able to distribute approximately 10,000 hot meals. So we've handed these out, and it's been wonderful. And we've also recently started delivering these hot meals to the shelters as well on the weekends. And there's other great things that we do. We ask God the Almighty to accept from us and everybody else that's doing wonderful things, whether it was pre-pandemic, it's during the pandemic, and hopefully very soon it'll be post-pandemic. But nevertheless, we also have a very good connection with the Scarborough Health Network. Not to blow our own trumpets or toot our own horn, but every single year we have a very special fundraising campaign, which we do to support the SHN through our students. It's kind of like similar to those of us who can remember the jump rope for heart that we had in public schools. It's kind of similar to that, but we have this every single year through the students. We weren't able to do it, unfortunately, this year or last year due to the pandemic, but we will continue once everything is back to the old normal. And again, we've over the last couple of years, we've donated about $100,000 to the Scarborough Health Network. And this year too, we've donated approximately 20,000. I mean, last year, last 12 months, we've donated approximately 20,000 to the Scarborough Health Network for the ECG machines, and we will continue. We're not going to stop. I mean, I'm a very big sports fan. It was very nice to see a Scarborough, somebody from the Scarborough community. I think many of us, well, some of us, I'm not exactly sure. I'm a little younger than many of us here, but we all know The Weeknd. If we do, he was performing at the halftime show in the Super Bowl, and he made it this right after, you know, everything was done. He made, I don't know if it was before or during or after this performance, he made a very great contribution to the Scarborough Health Network. So it's very great to see a national from Scarborough giving back to his or her own community. And we will continue to do the same. And on behalf of the president and myself, we do pledge 25,000 for this year as well. So 25,000 from the SMA, the Scarborough Muslim Association. Today's Family Day. I hope everybody enjoys. Thank you. Oh, by the way, everybody did thank so many great people that we have. I mean, there's a list, a roster, the complete roster of great, super people. But one that I have a very special connection to, thank you to Sheikh Yusuf Badat, who is here with us, who will be addressing us very soon. Very special relationship, a very special connection to my heart. Of course, everybody else as well. Again, the Honorable John Tory. It's an honor. I guess one day I'll tell my kids, yeah, I was online with the mayor. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, Imam Shoaib, for the beautiful words, and thank you for the $25,000 donation. That's huge. That's gotten us so far along the way already just on this call. Your team has been right at the forefront from the beginning. And we also want to welcome back Mayor John Tory. He's back on the call with us here today. So we're happy to see his commitment. Hello, Mayor. Moving on now, we're getting close to the end of the program here. I do want to make one quick point that, if the Scarborough Muslim Association can do this and contribute and really reach out to all their networks, I'm sure that we can all make similar efforts and try to squeeze out what we can from, within our respective circles in the community. Moving along now, I would like to invite, as Imam Shoaib Wardak said, a very special guest. But before I invite Sheikh Yusuf Badat, I do want to check on the call. Do we have Mr. Pervez Naseem here today? Okay, so I believe he wasn't able to make it. So I just want to make a quick acknowledgement that Mr. Pervez Naseem is a key pioneer and supporter of our program. He's the president of the Islamic Cooperative Housing Corporation and a standout member of our community. So he's really been helping us from the beginning. So I just want to mention, I think it's important that Mr. Pervez Naseem from Islamic Cooperative Housing has been a huge supporter of us. Moving on, I would like to invite a very special guest and who's going to not only outline a few important items for us, but will also help close off the program. Now, after him, we will come back on and do a closing dua with Brother Assad, our leader. But I do want to invite Sheikh Yusuf Badad, who's a longtime Imam of Islamic Foundation of Toronto, where I actually went to school and studied for many years. So, and he's held multiple roles in the community, even nationally. He's attended our program multiple times and helped close it and motivate. And so I'm very happy to have you here, Sheikh Yusuf Badad, and I'll let you do what you do best, which is to motivate and bring us together. So Sheikh Yusuf Badad, please go ahead.
Jazakallah khairan. Thank you, Brother Zuhair, for the introduction. I want to echo the sentiments of everybody previous to me. Happy Family Day, and it's wonderful. It's awesome to see everybody here, even though it's on screens. And previously, we've done this on the walk, and you know, we've been together and we've contributed. What a wonderful you know, get together every year to support our hospitals. And I know every one of you that's listening or watching is doing some great work in your own communities, in your own societies. I particularly want to thank Brother Asad Chaudhry. I remember a number of years ago, he came to my office and you know, he spoke about the idea, and without any hesitation, I said, this is something needed. Hospitals in our communities is like a vital organ in our bodies. If we don't have these organs, we do not exist. In a similar fashion, having these hospitals operating at optimal level, especially with this pandemic, we see particularly the Scarborough Health Network, they are taking care of 30% of COVID-19 patients within our communities and our societies. If we are not going to support the hospitals, then who will? So we know this is part of our faith. Charity is part of our faith. There was a group of individuals who came in the presence of the Prophet of Islam, Muhammad, peace and blessings upon him. And they said, you know what, we'd like to enter the religion. We want to be Muslims, but we want exemption from two things. We don't want to pray and we don't want to give charity. So the Prophet of Islam, peace and blessings upon him, said, what religion is there without prayer and without charity? So charity is an integral part of our faith and our communities, and every community, whether it's the Christian community or whether it's the Jewish community or whether it's atheist, non-believing communities, we all work together, especially when it comes to places like our hospitals and our community organizations. So I just want to share one hadith, one narration, and then I'll head towards the important matters that the organizers have asked me to convey. And that hadith is simply the virtue of visiting a sick person. Obviously, with COVID-19, we don't want anybody visiting others, but in general circumstances, the hadith is pointing out that whoever visits a sick person for the sake of God, a caller makes a call, and this caller refers to an angel. You have done good, tibta, you have done good. Your footsteps are blessed, and you have prepared yourself an abode in paradise. So the point I want to highlight here is, if this is the virtue of visiting a sick person to raise his or her spirits and give some good remarks so that they feel good, imagine the rewards that we will attain and the blessings we will attain for giving from our wealth to support our hospitals and our community organizations. So indeed, it's we're treading the path to paradise by contributing to our hospitals. This is Family Day, and we know that the Prophet of Islam, peace and blessings upon him, said, Al-Khalqu iyalullah, and someone had made the remark earlier as well, that the entire creation is God's family. And when we help the hospitals, we're helping all kinds of vulnerable people who are many a times in difficult situations that need that support. If our hospitals have the correct equipment, they have the personnel, they have the optimal level of services being provided, we are strengthening ourselves. We are strengthening our communities and our societies. At this particular point, you know, I want to also mention that I'm a volunteer chaplain with all three Scarborough hospitals, and I've seen firsthand what these frontline workers are going through on a daily basis. And therefore, I'd like to particularly thank each and every one of them. Pray for them and their families, and may God bless one and all with the best of peace and prosperity. I want to thank the community. You have all shown your generosity, your presence, your community spirit to help and support the Scarborough Health Network. Please keep up your generosity and your kindness for the community. I also want to thank Brother Asad, his team of volunteers. I know they've been holding meetings virtually currently, and prior to COVID-19, they were going around to every mosque in Scarborough, every community member at businesses, and they've worked tirelessly and they continue to do so. I want to thank and pray for them as well. I appeal at this particular moment to everybody who is on this conference or who may see this later on the YouTube channel, etc., that we all need to contribute in some way or the other. We've heard that the target is 100,000, but we know ourselves, for our communities, this is a very low target. Yes, the crisis is upon us. There are challenges, but it is our belief. The more we give, the more God gives us. The more generous we are, the more God will give us from his generosity and from his treasures, which are limitless. So in any way, shape, or form, give in the name of God to help and support the Scarborough Health Network. And you can do this by visiting the Scarborough Health Network website and donate directly. And you can earmark it from the Muslim community if you wish. And you can also get in touch with the organizers, the Scarborough Muslim Community Organization, or your local mosque here in Scarborough. And through them, they will contribute towards the hospital. And that will be adding to the target that has been put in place. Our mayor, Honorable John Tory, has always supported the Muslim community, and it's always great to see him here as well. And I believe he's an engine. I see him everywhere. So continue all the great work, and I really appreciate your leadership, especially during these crises. And we pray that God bless you and our wonderful city, the best city in the world. And I also want to particularly thank Imam Hamid Slimi, my colleague. He's an inspiration to all of us and other imams such as Imam Shoaib Wardak, who has just spoken on behalf of the Scarborough Muslim Association. Again, a great community leader within our societies. And all of you masjid representatives or organizers. I know Brother Farid Amin spoke as well. We have Brother Munib Nasir, MPs and MPPs, Salma Zahid, etc. A wonderful job all of you are doing, and your presence, your motivation for our community goes a very long way in helping our community thrive and support these type of fundraising events such as for the Scarborough Health Network. So at this point, I also want to make a mention that Brother Asad and his team will personally be making visits. I believe it's going to be virtual at this particular moment to help come up with the target of 100,000 for this particular fundraising goal. But as we've all agreed that, this seems to be a lower target, but if we continue to work together and contribute, hopefully we will surpass this as we did the previous goal as well. And previously, majority of the fundraising amounts, they came in from the Muslim mosques and the organizations where they held smaller events in their own communities, and then this pooled into the larger pool that helped come up with the target. So I want to emphasize and request all the Islamic organizations and all the community organizations that are on board to at least make a minimum contribution of $10,000. We've already heard from the wonderful SMA on Imam Shoaib Wardak said that the SMA is contributing $25,000. So if every organization can make this type of goal and contribute in this manner, we will be well on our way towards the million that some of our speakers have also spoken about. So I believe I've surpassed my time. So I want to make my concluding remarks. May God bless each and every one of you. Once again, I pray for our frontline workers, our leadership in our city and our great country. And may God bring the best of peace and healing and successful rollout of the vaccinations so that we can resume as normal sooner than later. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum. Peace and blessings be with each and every one of you.
Thank you very much, Sheikh Yusuf, for that. I just want to personally thank you as well for not only supporting us, attending all our meetings, and just being there whenever we've asked you to be. I really appreciate that. It helps a lot to see somebody, within the community like yourself doing that. Overall, I've noticed in the program so far, we've raised already, I mean, by my estimates, over $35,000. Of the 100,000, which is incredible. And I think it's pretty obvious now that we can do a lot better than we originally thought. So this is amazing. Again, if you do want to donate, there is a button on the ScarboroughMuslims.com website. That's ScarboroughMuslims.com. I'm sure we'll also leave a link there with the recording of the program, or at least a link to the recording on YouTube. Please share this program with as many people as possible. Please ask people to donate, and let's motivate each other to make that happen. A very important point Sheikh Yusuf Badat made was that every mosque and Islamic institution that we can reach, we will reach as organizers, but to encourage them all to make a minimum donation of $10,000, I think it's a good ask, and I think those who can, I think we'll try to reach them and ensure that that they can join us in this cause. Now, before we wrap up the program, I know we're a few minutes over. I just want to give an opportunity for Brother Asad, our leader, who started this from the beginning and brought us all together, to come online here and make a few, say a few words on behalf of the organizing team, and to also help do the closing dua and talk about anything else that he needs to. So at this moment, let's bring Brother Asad Chowdhury on.
Respected Speaker John Tory, our Mayor, very respectful to all of us, and brothers and sisters in the community. Assalamu alaikum. May Allah peace be upon you. First of all, I am thankful to our merciful Lord for staging this event every year since 2012. I thank the ever helpful staff of SHN Foundation, present and past, in particular Tasnub Ahmed, for taking the role of a real partner for an event like today. I thank all of our community leaders and volunteers to help stage today's event. You know that, brother, I have the spreadsheet that we received from Tasnuba. The donors, they are over 230 for this $250,000 that we raised for the hospital. And they come from $10 to $37,000 range. So this is the community that in this donors list, we have got architects, we have got some lawyers, we have got doctors, we have got a small business person. So they all encourage us that this is a job that we all cherish and we should continue. That's why we decided in our team that we go for $100,000. Inshallah, as we see that already $35,000 raised. And also I talked to ICNA Relief, and they talk, and I think they are considering $10,000 for this event. My point is very simple, and I just give an example how we can raise this fund very quickly. Sister Salma Zahid, in our previous meeting, she said that she can organize few of her own known people, business people, the architect or professionals, and have a meeting, Zoom meeting, and then they can collect some fund. So we see the example of Brother Zakir Patel. He did that in this pandemic, and he raised $18,000 just gathering the Gujarati Muslim Association people. And the same token, the Sri Lankan Muslim, we can see on especially they raised $10,000, bringing the Sri Lankan Muslim Association people. If you have this kind of 10 association comes together, $100,000 is nothing. And I'll give you a scenario that today I see that inshallah we'll be working on that. Zakir Patel, Jennifer McLevin, MPP Dolly Begum, Salma Zahid, everybody said that when we have this kind of program, then they'll come and support us. Inshallah, for the future, for the end of the year, until the end of the year, we can raise, as everybody hopeful, maybe over $100,000. And now I go back to our original thing that we work on, that we have got 21 mosques in our Scarborough area. Out of 21 mosques, 9 of them contributed to raise $118,000. And out of 9, 6 donated $115,000. So what does it mean? That these leaders in the community, they have got a good understanding what we are doing. That's why they came forward and help us. So we have a few more big organization centers, Islamic. We have to work with the brothers and say that let's come join together. It will be an event. Our goal is to make $100,000 every year. It will be continuous, and everybody plays that one, and will continue not beyond 10 years. $1 million will continue when we die. So this is our ultimate goal for doing this work for us. So this situation that we have now, and we go and ask every mosque and then see what they can do for us. But my request to our community leaders, we are bunch of people, volunteers working, because we understand this is very important. But support of raising fund comes from the local community leaders. There's the president and the imams of the mosque and the organization like Islamic Housing. May Allah bless Brother Palbez. He couldn't come today, but he's donating from the day one. He contributed $25,000 for this $250,000 place that we made. So these are the people, even businessmen. I tell you something. The businessmen here, I have one brother from Bangladesh. He supplies equipment to the hospital. He donated $12,000. So we have got here, say we have got, just for example, over 50 business people out of the 25 restaurant. Recently, one brother, very small store, sells biryani kind of things. He donated $1,000. So if all can motivate through our leadership and everybody, if these 50 plus business people give $1,000, we are there right away at $50,000. So we have to work on this. Just pray for us. Our volunteers very sincere and honest. We need your prayer and support when you go there. Please give us a hand so that we can achieve our goal. So with this one, I want to conclude. May Allah bless you all and give you a good life. $10 to $37,000. May Allah really bless your life with goodness here and hereafter, and make us a kind of tools to achieve the goal that will be well recognized from the community and beyond our community, inshallah. Okay, Assalamu alaikum. So make a dua, brother. Yusuf Bata, make a dua. When Imam is there, I cannot make dua properly, because Yusuf, I'm requesting you, please.
Absolutely.
Sure, thank you. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulihi Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajmain. O Almighty, we praise and thank you, and we acknowledge that there is none worthy of worship except yourself. We also send the best of salutations upon all the prophets, including Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad. Peace and blessings upon each and every one of them. Today we have gathered here, and we have one goal on this family day: to bring our families together, to love and spread the best of mercy, and also support our Scarborough Health Network facilities. May you facilitate the best of success for each and every one of us. Heal the entire community from this pandemic and lift the virus, and roll out the vaccines with the best of success so that we can return to normal. Almighty, anyone who has contributed towards this great cause in any way, shape, or form, bless them with the best in this world as well as in the everlasting life of the hereafter. O Almighty, those who show great work in the front lines, and those who do great work within our communities and our societies, give them and their families the best of this world as well as in the hereafter. Accept our prayer and our supplications, and accept our gathering. And once again, we pray for everyone who has been part of this organization and this event and their contributions. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Thank you.
Jazakumullah khairan.
Thank you, everyone.
Any other online donation that you received, Brother Zohair, Brother Khaled, anything that you can share? Oh, one thing that I forgot, this International Development Relief Foundation, they just called me and they want to sponsor this program. They'll be sending some money to the hospital.
Oh, wow. Fantastic.
Thank
you very much.
Yeah, that's the one of the, yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. We had so many generous people today give so much support. Thank you for coming out today. I know we went a little bit over the program, but it's all for a great cause. Really, really, really thank everyone from the bottom of my heart. We have almost half of our donations just on this call alone. It's incredible the type of people we have in this community. So thank you again. Jazakallah khairan, everyone. And please enjoy the rest of your family day with your family. And you can get the live recording on our website.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.